Now it's finally time to talk about MrBeast and why he is getting canceled right now by the right. You see, MrBeast is actually the biggest YouTuber. Like, he is the number 1 YouTuber. He is the largest YouTuber there is, period. And that kind of comes with some default, there's some default things that come along with that. A big part of that is having a very large and broad audience of a lot of varying beliefs. You see, MrBeast's content is very apolitical, about as apolitical as content on YouTube can really get. And because of that, really, you can watch MrBeast's content and be left-wing, right-wing, centrist, apolitical, hyper-political. It doesn't matter. You can still enjoy MrBeast content. So there is a very broad appeal to MrBeast and a very wide range of political beliefs among his fans. Most of his fans are pretty left-leaning. Like, generally speaking, it would seem his fans are pretty left-leaning, just based on the kind of stuff that you'll see on Twitter from MrBeast fans. They do tend to be pretty left-leaning. He's got a lot of right-wing fans, too, for sure, like the Crypto Bro types, but most of them are, like, left-leaning, like, Dream Stand types. However, recently, something changed. MrBeast has essentially been forced into engaging with the current political climate, whether he likes it or not. You see, despite what the right desperately tries to argue, trans people are not like ideologues, part of a belief system that's making them transition and do the things they're doing. Trans people are just the way they are, and the vast majority of them are transitioning to alleviate dysphoria. And because of that, people with dysphoria who need to transition in order to alleviate it aren't going anywhere, and they're everywhere. No matter how apolitical of a person you want to be, eventually at some point in your life, your best friend might just end up being trans. And they might just end up coming out as trans in a time where transphobic hate is unprecedented and you have no choice but to take a position on it because everyone's demanding it. That is what has happened to MrBeast. Chris, good friend of MrBeast that you might recognize from quite a few of MrBeast's videos, looks like this, has been spotted in several more recent videos and streams looking like this, and has come out as trans, currently going by any all pronouns, taking HRT for like 3 months or whatever, and yeah, generally it's been pretty fucking good for them. So that's all good and well and all that good stuff. And you'd think that like a close friend of MrBeast, one of MrBeast's like top 3 like partners in content creation, coming out as trans would, if anything, help to push the general sentiment for trans people's rights more towards like a positive area. Like, you'd think this would be like, whoa, wait, this isn't just something that like crazy weirdos do. Like, Chris is okay, maybe it is like, maybe trans people are just people that deserve respect and rights, huh? Like, you'd think that would be the effect it would have, and I'm sure for many people it did have that effect. However, the loudest and proudest of the people who reacted to this are the ones who are upset about it. That's right. Just a couple weeks ago, MrBeast was getting canceled by random lefties on Twitter for his videos not adequately debunking capitalism, I guess. And so all the right-wing figures decided to make MrBeast their poster boy. Like, yeah, MrBeast, let's go. He's on our side. He's our guy. Let's go. They love MrBeast. They love these, like, cool with Elon Musk, and he loves Dogecoin and Bitcoin and all that. They love that he's a tech bro. They thought he was one of them. And so they incessantly defended him. They defended him nonstop. All well and good. But now MrBeast has come out in support of his friend Chris being trans. And the right are like, what? What? No, you can't do that. What do you mean? And they're attacking him. They're calling him the Antichrist. They're calling him a grifter. They're calling him a piece of shit, a groomer, a pedophile enabler. There are some insane accusations being levied at MrBeast. I mean, hell, if you want to see how some people are reacting, you can see if I search Chris MrBeast, you have What Happened to Chris Tyson by a Cheeto. This is a quartering ripoff, like right-wing, like Chud channel. BS Media, MrBeast crew members react to Chris Tyson coming out. This one's interesting. Encourage made this video 4 days ago, 1.1 million views. How Chris became the most hated MrBeast video. Transgender in the thumbnail. Unironically, MrBeast, but most notably, Chris Tyson, has been canceled for being trans. We have reached a level of cultural hatred for trans people where you literally will get canceled for coming out as trans as a public figure. Antichrist, peace be upon him. I am not gonna lie, I thought that right has better freedom of speech than left because of some reason I don't see on YouTube a lot of rational leftists like you. I really appreciate the compliment, my friend. That's very kind of you. It really does mean a lot. There are definitely a lot of progressives online, like leftists and whatnot, who are very, very bad at explaining their beliefs. Like, the left just, like, there's this stereotype, even within the left, that so many progressive leftists are just awful at like making their agreeable positions look agreeable. They just like turn good, agreeable, like fine positions into the most like aggressive, cringe insanity ever. And normal people are just like, what are you doing? What the fuck? And that's basically where you are. You've only been exposed to like those fucking weirdos. There's a good community of people on the left online who are expressing these values in not insane ways, but unfortunately they're drowned out because most conservative commentators focus on replying only to the most insane representations of left-wing ideas because that's, you know, the easiest to do, right? It's what you do if you're a content creator online. But yeah, it really does speak to the level of like hatred for trans people that there is right now. And I don't even think you have to be pro-trans to agree this is excessive. Hatred for trans people. And it ranges from like outright like calling Chris a pedophile and calling MrBeast a pedo enabler and the Antichrist and all that crazy shit, to like people like Augie RFC who tweeted this, which is a very bizarre take. And I'd very much like to see how he would react if I asked him the same question but with gay couples. I wonder what the psychological effect of transitioning has on your 2-year-old. Now, a bunch of people went on to say probably not much. The kid's pretty young. It's more about the actual parenting that is done, like whether or not they're good parents that would actually have an effect on the kids or on the kid. And Augie was like, "Nah, I think it would have a pretty big effect." So the idea that this is like a genuine question of like curiosity doesn't really, I don't really buy that. This is pretty clearly like even Augie RFC is caught up in like the wave of transphobia that is so prevalent in our culture that like he's like, okay, what about the kid? Are we sure it's good this person has come out as trans? What about the kid? Like, imagine being like, are you sure you should come out as gay? What if your son finds out? Like, what? Like, dog, what? Are you serious? It would never hold up to... It's only because it's trans people, and trans people are uniquely okay to shit on right now within our culture. You know what's funny, though? What did I say, though, chat? I got shit for it. 1 year ago, why LeftTube is dying and the next anti-SJW wave is rising. The new anti-SJWs, this is more recent, so I wouldn't say this is predictive. 2 years ago, Leafy is here in the drama community will be the next wave of anti-SJW content. I will say I feel bad for having Boblax there, because he's been fairly reasonable on this, but he's had some cringe takes about the Chris coming out as trans thing. Even Leafy's just come back. Was I cooking, chat? Was I cooking or what? Don't even get me started on the amount of hate I got for both of these videos. If you look hard enough, it isn't hard to read the current of internet culture and where it's headed and where it's flowing. And how hard it's flowing in a given direction. and I saw that the current was switching more towards the right from a mile away. And a lot of people were in denial and got mad about me pointing it out, but that just doesn't change reality.